Okay, I've been so excited to do this today because today is my 100th episode. It kind of brings a little bit of tears to my eyes that I've done this many reps, and I'm so excited to have on today's guest. She's a big proponent of consistency and putting yourself out there. Her name is Courtney Johnson, and she's a branding expert, author, content creator, all the things. So welcome.
Thank you.
I definitely want to talk about cringe. Like I know you talk about it a lot because I think that it relates to content, but also relationships and putting yourself out there, willingness to be uncomfortable. How did you or what moment was like, okay, I'm gonna be cringe and have that feeling?
Well, first of all, congrats on your 100th
Yeah,
episode. That's amazing.
oh,
And I'm so honored to be here for your
yeah,
100th episode.
yeah.
Wow. Was there a moment of cringe? So it actually started with me seeing it in other people.
Mm.
I was a ghostwriter for many, many
Oh
years.
wow.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
ghostwrote blogs and articles and books and social media for tech founders. And I found a really interesting pattern where I saw the data, I saw what content was working, I saw what the audience wanted, I saw their goals. I could make a pretty clear map of what they needed to talk about in order to get to the goals. And what I noticed is personal brand is a emotional game way more than it's a tactical game. So I started saying, "Hey, let's talk about this. Let's post about this." And then I would see the stories come up. Well, what are the
Mm.
investors gonna think? Well, what's the board gonna think? Well, what if this is too problematic? What if a client doesn't understand and they misinterpret? And then through those stories I started to see the patterns, and you can really trace that back to people's wounding, the stories that come up. So it's, fear of being seen, it's what is this person gonna think of me? It's I'm not good enough, I'm not qualified enough. And I realized in that moment, oh my God, personal brand building is so incredibly powerful, but it's also easy. It's easy
Mm.
because you don't tactically, there's not a lot to do. Tactically, anybody can move their fingers in this way and type, right? It's the emotional work that's underneath it. So once I started seeing it in other people, I was like, all right, I'm going to do this for myself. I'm going to build my own personal brand. I'm going to go all in on myself. And I noticed those same patterns with me. Started helping other people build personal brands, noticed the same pattern with them. So it's my mission now to help people overcome that cringe and step into expansion so they can get more opportunities, more sales, put their music to the world, their art out to the world, live their dream. And if
Mm-hmm.
you feel, not everyone feels drawn to content creation, but for the people that do, it's such an unlock.
Yeah, I think it's a great avenue for artistic expression. I'm curious, you mentioned emotional work. Like, what would you suggest for people? Because I know, I'm like, do I post too much? Do I, I'm navigating this thing, this love-hate relationship. I'm really trying to fall in love with
Mhm.
posting and all that stuff. And I do notice some of the stories, particularly one coming up, after something did successful and then the retraction period. I'm like, do I believe these things that people are saying? Or, so is there any jump point or starting point for looking at ourselves or the emotional work that you would suggest doing as you're building your brand, or is it kind of one of those things where you're tackling it as you go, or
Mhm. It's definitely supportive to have other emotional tools in your toolbox. If you're if you're listening to this podcast, you're not brand new to emotional
yeah.
intelligence work, probably. But if you are, maybe go to therapy first, get the
Yeah.
basics down, learn self trust, learn the very basic skills. And then, I don't know, I think the psychedelics have been super helpful for me
Mm.
in the content creation journey. But I've also worked with so many coaches, a ton of workshops. I would say for anyone listening to this, that's like, okay, great, Courtney, that's really vague. Is there something I can do right now in a couple of hours? I would go read the book The Big Leap.
Mm. Oh, I love that
Yeah,
book. Oh, it's
that's
so good.
it's
Kay
such a
Hendricks, I think.
yes,
Yeah,
he's
so
amazing.
good.
Yeah, he also is a psychedelic facilitator.
Oh, I didn't
I
realize
I
that.
really I found that out last week.
Oh my God, that's
I
great.
posted about his book, and anyways, my friend was like, "Oh, I trained him as a facilitator."
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Love that. Anyways, that's such a great book that really lays out why you're feeling what you're feeling. Because the pattern I see is exactly what you're saying. You might post, you get a big result, maybe something pops off, or maybe someone really resonates with it and sends you a nice text. Like you see a result, and then you retract, and then you're like, "Ooh, that was kind of scary. Ooh, that's kind of pushing
Do
my
I
edge."
like this?
Right?
Yeah.
It really pushes your edges of receiving. But what I would encourage you to do is focus on the outcome instead of just how many likes is this getting, how many comments. Like, oh my God, somebody messaged me and said that this post really clicked and it shifted something in their mind. Or somebody sent me a text saying that this post really helped them have this conversation in their relationship. Like, that is the outcome. That is the focus. Like, when you focus on that, everything else becomes a lot easier.
And that's the stuff that I feel like rings or like resonates with me the most. It's like if I'm having a shitty day and someone's like, oh my God, your book like really was like a guiding light or something. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, so why I like need to put in more reps of like shifting the point of awareness on that and like the being grateful for it and like celebrating and all those things. I love that you brought up like psychedelics too. If you're open, I'd love to explore like some of your like aha moments. I also love that you had put somewhere out there about breaking up with the spiritual community in a way. I love to explore that too, because I kind of had like a little similar like I'm embracing my humanness, not trying to transcend out of like the human experience. So I'd love to like share space or open it up for psychedelics. Yeah,
My favorite topic. Eventually, when I hit a certain number in my business, I'm only gonna talk about psychedelics. It's just not safe right now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, wow, cool. Good to know.
Eventually, this is like 10 years from now. I love talking about personal brand, but I just want to heal the whole planet. Yeah, so my journey started when I was in a shitty place in my life. I was super in debt. I didn't have a job. I was doing a lot of self-harm. I was drinking, I was partying, and one night I went out to party and there was like a bag of mushrooms on the counter, and these are very strong mushrooms. I'm sure we I'm sure we have the same mushroom person, and you probably know that they're extremely strong. Anyways, there was a bag of mushrooms on the counter, and I didn't really know about mushrooms. I kind of knew about them, so I started eating them as I'm partying all night, as I'm drinking and smoking and doing all this other stuff. And I'm like, fuck these mushrooms. What the fuck is this? This doesn't even work. Never done any psychedelics before. I probably had 5-6 grams.
Snap.
I know, and these were so potent. It's got to be like an 8-gram experience. This is my first time. It all hit me at once, and it completely changed my life. Like over in the span of 8 hours, this 8-hour trip. I mean, it was horrifying and totally scary, and bitch slapped the fuck out of me. Completely changed my life. I literally woke up a completely new person, stopped all of the harmful habits that I was doing, realized that I was worthy of my dream, and stepped into that. Like, it was an immediate switch. It's not something I chose. I didn't like go to like a ceremony for the first time. It was an accident. And then I wanted to make sense of what happened to me. So I was going to other ceremonies, working with other facilitators over like 5 years. But it was such an accident and such a blessing.
Yeah, no, I love that. I kind of had like an accidental, like transcendental moment where I was like, okay, I feel like I was about to, before I like astral projected in a way and like connected with my dad's spirit and stuff. I was like overwhelming, like fear voice from somewhere heard like surrender. I'm like a big proponent too of psychedelics. I love them. And then I've taken a little break too because, I feel like I was chasing it in a way and like, oh, what kind of cool like insight or aha moment will I have now? And do you see a lot of people that you work with like use psychedelics for like the microdose end or like the more macro or like a little combination?
Yeah, I mean, I encourage my clients to do whatever. You know, my clients
Before
are
we
like
work together.
my clients are like corporate girlies that haven't really dabbled in that space.
Oh,
so, you know,
fun.
newbies. Yeah, so I'm like a lot of questions people ask me, I'm like, the answer is mushrooms. Just like go eat mushrooms, they'll tell you. I'm a big proponent of microdosing. Like, I was severely addicted to ADHD medication and stimulants, and microdosing helped me get off, and that was really, really helpful. But yeah, I really encourage people. I mean, don't go overboard, but my audience is not going overboard. They're just dabbling. They're dipping their toes.
Yeah. Just like, okay.
Exactly. But I also took like this whole year off to do more emotional intelligence, integration work of integrating what I've learned, like really truly integrating it, because I totally get it. It can be a trap to keep like chasing. Like one of my friends texted me last night. He's like, "Hey, do you want to go to Colorado with me to this research center and like get IV DMT to see like the source code through lasers or something?" I'm like, that sounds pretty cool. And I don't know if that's a priority right now.
Well, yeah. If you don't go,
No, I'm
I'm not.
going. I'm going.
I'm like, how does one
I'm
get the
going.
invite to this?
Exactly.
To
No,
see
I'll send you deets. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, apparently if you're intravenously administered DMT at a microdose and then you shine a laser, like
Wow.
2 lasers together, you see source code.
Okay, I've seen a video about that, but I didn't
Mhm.
realize if it was connected to DMT. I just saw
Yeah.
that they're like looking at for some code through a
Mhm.
laser or something. I don't know. I mean, it sounded like they were like on some kind of
It sounds cool.
mind altering substance. It sounds
Okay,
great.
let's go.
I tried to smoke it once. I don't know if I had like any like kind of
Mm.
moment. It also wasn't at like a facility or with
Yeah.
a guy, any of that
What did
stuff.
you smoke it out of?
My friend had brought some like little pipe thing, I
Yeah,
think.
like a
Got
crack
to
pipe? Okay, I asked that because
Yeah.
some people have, like, a vape. I've never tried the vape. Anyways, yeah, I've done
Yeah, I can't
DMT out
I'm
of a
like, "What's
crack
the
pipe
vape?"
too. I had a really profound experience, but everyone's like, "Oh my god, DMT is the most intense psychedelic you
Mhm.
could ever take." I felt like I'd have more intense experiences on other psychedelics. Maybe I just didn't inhale enough.
Same. I'm like, "Did I not inhale?" I'm like, maybe a PTSD from inhaling on a cigar one time and vomited everywhere. Have you, like, sat with Aya or journeyed with okay,
Mm-mm.
me
No,
either.
not ayahuasca, but I do love LSD, and I think LSD is, like, so good for business. I
Yeah.
mean, Steve Jobs. It's the reason why
Yeah.
Apple's here. Yeah, I think LSD is really valuable. I do a lot of, like, brainstorm sessions with
Yeah,
LSD.
cool.
Yeah.
Like the full dose or like
Depends.
okay.
Sometimes a
I'm,
little
like, so
micro, sometimes
curious.
I've done a couple of, like, underground business ceremonies on LSD that's,
Cool.
like, full dose with a whiteboard.
Oh, wow.
That's fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do have a couple sitting in my drawer at home, so I'm like, you're giving me some ideas. I'm like, do I do that? Or like a little snippet of it?
Mhm.
But it was very illuminating. I remember even just like being in Mexico, picking up a remote control. I'm like, oh, is this symbolic of me wanting to control things in life? I'm like, where does that show up? Where is that
Where
my
else did that
pattern?
show up in your life?
It's so great. And then I just ordered some more. I'm curious about like the psychedelic facilitation too.
Mm.
Have you been trained in a facilitation yet,
Mm-mm.
or just like
No.
future down the road maybe?
I
Or
don't think I ever want to
yeah,
facilitate. I think I just want to maybe have a nonprofit that, like,
cool.
raises funds for research or something.
Cool.
Yeah, facilitating seems like it'd be a lot of emotional labor. I don't
Yeah.
know if I want that.
Yeah, that's true. There's a program I'm thinking about doing in January. I'm like, yeah,
Which
we'll
one is
see.
it?
I had someone on. She does microdosing for healing, and yeah, that's her
Oh, that's so
microdosingforhealing.com.
cool. That's
I'm
so
drawing it. Yeah, so I was like,
yeah,
okay.
do it.
It cured her epilepsy, and I know like Paul Stamets talks
Wow.
about how it cured his stutter and that sort of thing. It was like a reset button on joy and like seeing the interconnectedness of life and creativity. So I'm like,
What are you
yes.
microdosing in the program?
Right now, the mushrooms.
Yeah.
Um, then I went to the Conscious Life Expo in LA a few years ago and got a little shipper.
Ooh,
So
fun.
yeah, there's a strand called Hillbilly. And I'm curious. Let's see here. I'm gonna look at. Yeah, I want to talk about breaking up with the spiritual community.
Yeah.
How did that come about? Like,
That's a spicy post. Yeah, so the post you're referencing is this post that went mega viral. I think it has like 8 million views. And what's interesting is so I feel like my spiritual gift, it sounds really crazy, but it's like literally audio schizophrenia. Like I just hear
oh,
voices
mm,
over and over, repeat the same things over and over and over. And so a lot of times that's how I create my content. I'll just be on a walk and I will hear it's like a chapter of a book or like the page of a book just audibly in my head over and over. And it's usually my own experience, like my own brain processing my own experience. And I know when that happens, it's like a really, really important message to get out.
mm.
And that had happened for a couple of days. That post was repeating over and over and over in my head. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. But it just gets so loud and so annoying, like a song stuck in my head that unless I write it out, it'll keep bugging me.
Yeah.
So that's how it started. And it was really a reflection on some experiences I had where, I was going to these ceremonies and I was going to women's circles and hanging out with people who were constantly manifesting and constantly calling things in, but nothing was actually changing.
Mm.
And I have a pretty controversial belief that if you're not driving towards your dream and your goal and your purpose on earth, you're really selfish as hell because you can't get
Mm.
out of your own way and your own discomfort to help other people. And everybody knows, like we all know what our purpose is. We all, even if you're not super clear on what it looks like, you know that you're here to help people in some way. You know that you're here to inspire people in some way. You know that you're here to nurture. You know, some people just pretend not to know. Um and I noticed that some people just were not making progress to
Mm.
the dream, were not changing. And I observed, and if you spot it, you got it. I was observing it in other people because there are patterns in myself too where I was noticing it. But I was just noticing a lot of manifestation, a lot of calling in and just no action happening. And I got really, really frustrated to where for a long time I just stopped going to all the things because it wasn't helping my mission. And I have this idea of the value above other values. So what is your value that you would
Mm.
kill all other values for? What is the value that's the
Mm.
top of your decision making? And for me, that value is impact. It's different for
Mm.
everyone. Like my partner, his is adventure. Mine is impact. I will make every decision on what has the highest impact. Some people's is something like truth or justice, right?
Mhm.
And I also felt like my values were not aligning with the spiritual community anymore, where the spiritual community's value is around truth, finding the right answer, around connection, and all of those things are great. And it's so great that we all have different values and different values above values,
Mhm.
but it was not aligned with my value of impact. And so I made the decision to step away because I really desired to step into more impact and helping just as many people as possible live their dreams.
Love that. And I love that concept too, value above
Yeah. Do you
values.
know what yours might
I mean,
be?
what comes to mind is courage.
Courage. Oh,
Like, I don't like that's the first like impulse, like knee jerk. I don't know if I sat with it longer, but yeah, courage. I've always been like, meh.
yeah. Like you're going to choose
And it's
the
a
most
sense,
courageous decision.
yeah, and it makes me feel alive. Not to say that I don't feel fear or don't like, sometimes I'm like, "Ah," maybe sometimes I'm like crawling instead of like skipping to go do the thing, right? No, that's interesting. I kind of can see like where people could, lean on like the manifestation and sex magic, which I love, but
Yeah.
also it's like take action. I think
Take
that's
action.
important because otherwise it's like just passive.
Yeah. It's kind of
Do you
like,
really want it?
exactly. Do you really want it?
Yeah.
It's do you want it enough to feel that discomfort in your body?
Mm.
That's the question, because every decision we make brings us closer to or further away from our dream and our purpose.
Mm.
It's binary. It's one of two things. And to be able to learn just to identify that in your body, identify where your edges are and move through that, which is actually why sex magic and tantra is such a good parallel for that, because you are learning that in real time to like
Hmm.
push your edges. What was the question again?
About, I'm like, shoot, I'm in the zone.
Yeah. I was coming back to something, but I forgot.
Of action and
Oh,
passive. Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah. Oh, do you really want it in the binary? Yeah.
Yes. So with action, some people might say, oh, I'm manifesting money. I'm calling in money.
Mm.
I'm calling in money, and not actually take any action around it. That's the same thing as saying, I'm manifesting to be fluent in French. I want to be fluent in French. It's on my vision board. France is on my vision board. I can picture myself speaking French. But if you're not actually going to French lessons, you
Yeah.
can't just wake up one day and be fluent in French. But we
Yeah.
think that we're going to wake up one day and we're going to have all this money, or our dream is going to be accomplished, or we're going to be a famous singer, or we're going to finally launch that business and it's going to happen overnight. It does not happen overnight. I think media or movies makes us think that we just quit everything in this dramatic crescendo and everything changes in an instant. And although transformation can happen in an instant, the results are delayed. Same thing as learning
Mm.
an instrument. You wouldn't be like, oh, well, I have a guitar on my vision board and I think about guitars all the time and I'm affirming that I am a guitar player, I'm a guitar player, but you've never picked up a guitar and you've never been to guitar class.
Yeah.
If you want to shred the guitar, you get to practice every single day. That's what's going to get you there. So I think that's the disconnect, is thinking that there is some miracle that's going to happen that is going to bring you the result when it takes rep.
Yeah.
It takes reps.
Yeah.
Like
And
that's how
consistency.
we are in the 3D world.
Yeah,
So
that
I
makes
think some
sense.
people like get stuck in the 4D and forget to come back to earth.
Yeah. It's not like the guitar notes and and strings and all the chords and stuff are what going to download like DMT source code.
Exactly,
You
exactly.
know?
You gotta practice it. Like, it's a skill. And of course, miracles can happen. Like, maybe
Yeah,
you run into someone at a coffee shop that leads
for
you to the perfect
sure.
instructor that then gets you a great opportunity. And maybe you are like working on your neuroplasticity, so you learn faster, but you still have to go to guitar lessons to
Yeah,
learn the
yeah.
guitar.
And put yourself out there, I think,
Yes.
too, like a willingness to put yourself out there. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. But I
I
love
like,
I love the
yeah.
spiritual community. I really do, even though
Oh,
I
me
broke up
too.
with
Oh,
them.
yeah,
But
yeah.
what I want is I want more people in the spiritual community to see that they have power and to learn from the normies on
Yeah.
how to make impact. And I want
The
the
normies.
normies to learn from the muggles to learn from the people in the spiritual community on how to tap into their heart. And I think there's like a
Mm,
resistance. Like, I have
mhm.
so many friends that are like, well, capitalism bad, money bad, it's all evil, so I'm not even going to try. And I'm like, bro, you're literally not going to be able to make an impact and fulfill your mission of launching this technology if you're broke.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to fulfill your mission of sharing your music with the world if you can't get people to support you, if you can't get people behind you, if you can't learn basic skills of marketing yourself. Like, again, that's where we have to drop into the human experience. And I know it sucks. I know it's not always the best. I know the world is not fair and perfect, but that's where the game is.
Mhm.
That's where we get to expand into. Because it's easy to be up here. It's hard to be a human.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
why we're on this planet, is to be
Yeah,
a human.
yes.
We forget that.
I'm like, "Preach, yes." I'm like I feel like for a long time, like, my journey with the spiritual community was wanting to transcend out of the human experience, like,
Yes.
can I meditate enough or take enough psychedelics or just like, just get me out of this feeling messy thing, but I feel like tantras help, like, okay, embrace my humanness and then, like, life feels more spiritual and I can see, like, the
Mhm.
different things. Um You mentioned, like, marketing oneself.
Mhm.
How does one start about that? Like,
Ooh.
'cause a story that I've been shifting or working on is like, okay, but I'm an artist, I'm a creative. I
Uh-huh.
like to do that, like, to move into more marketing of it or of, like, the self,
Well, marketing is an
shifting
art
from.
form.
Yeah, true,
It's
yeah.
literally an art form. Entrepreneurship is an art form. Yeah, how do you market yourself? So marketing yourself it's actually very rooted in like propaganda and brainwashing,
Mm.
which I think is fun. You can Okay, so if I say name a chef, who's the first person that comes to mind?
Tim Love,
Tim
maybe?
Love, great.
Yeah.
So Tim Love owns a piece of your consciousness filed under
Wow,
chef.
okay.
Yeah. And so whenever you go to find a recipe, buy a cookbook, go to a restaurant, you're more likely to choose Tim Love because that's what's top of mind in
Oh,
your consciousness.
interesting.
So building a personal brand is owning shares of other people's consciousness in the same way that you can own shares of a company.
Wow.
So if I was a um, graphic designer and my passion was graphic design, what I would want is I would want to own a share of your consciousness filed under graphic design. So when you need a graphic designer or your friend is saying, hey, do you know any graphic designers? You're
Mm,
immediately going to gravitate towards me. And you can create that or own that consciousness share a couple of different ways. You can do it, but mainly you do it by being visible and through repetition. So the reason why Tim Love has top of mind awareness in your mind is because probably Tim Love has the most repetition. You've seen him the most, you've seen the
mm.
name the most, and that's why it comes up. So it's repetition of getting everybody around us to associate our names, ourselves with our mission or our purpose. It makes it easier for everyone to connect.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that explanation too. And it's like to me like a bridge of the normie human and
Yes.
like spiritual like, consciousness and like walking all that. And I'd
Yeah.
love to like go back to that too because I think that you made a good point. Like there's so much that each like group can learn from one another and it's like how can we connect more of
Mhm.
those dots? Is there anything else that comes to mind when you think of like bridges between like the normies
Mhm.
and spiritual peeps or
Yeah, I think it's chilling the fuck out on our egos.
yeah.
It's like, oh, I can. Okay, let's say you're in the spiritual community and you're like, it's my goal to impact millions of people and bring them into their hearts. What you get to do is go find someone who's impacting millions of people in some way,
Mm,
negative way or positive way,
mm.
and ask yourself, what are they doing? and just go mimic what they're doing. Oh, what are they doing? They are doing talks around the world, and that's how they're impacting people. They are posting on social media every day. They have a team of people around them. They share their message through books. Like, there is a method, and you know it. Like, people just pretend not to know. Do you have a dog or a cat or
I
something?
do, yeah.
Okay, what's your
Yeah.
dog's name?
Boudreaux.
Boudreaux. All right, if I'm like, yo, I'm gonna kidnap Boudreaux
Aw.
in a month, and you'll never see Boudreaux
Aw.
again if you don't build a strong personal brand. You already have a strong personal brand, but let's say you didn't.
Yeah.
What would you do? You'd figure it out.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
you just go ham. You'd post every day. You'd Google how to
Boudreaux
build.
reading those books.
Yeah, Boudreaux would be reading the book, right? You would figure it out. It's not a tactical issue. It's an emotional climb, not a tactical climb. We have all the world's information at the tip of our fingers. Nothing is an emotional barrier anymore. There's just, I mean, nothing is a informational barrier anymore. We have all the information we could ever need. The barrier is emotion.
Yeah. I love like that. I saw something you posted about that. Like the emotional intelligence will become like the superpower of in the world of like AI in that landscape. I don't know. Can you expand on that a little bit or?
Yeah, it's because, for
Yeah.
example, a podcast. Do you want to know how to rank in the top 4% of all podcasts that have ever existed? You post 6 episodes.
Oh, cool.
Do you want to know how to rank in the top 1% of all podcasts that have ever existed? You post 10 episodes. Consistency and showing up is the name of the game. It wasn't a tactical burden for you to get to 100 episodes. You know how to find a guest, email them. Emailing is easy. Finding the guest is easy. To book this studio, you go online, you click book, you maybe make an outline. It's not a tactical, and you know how to do that. You can Google, how do I do a podcast? And it'll walk you through the exact same steps. Find a guest, book a studio, find an editor. That is not hard. What was hard is the voice in your head that was like, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I should stop. Oh, well, what if I just take a little break? Well, what if I stop? I'll come back and do a season 2. Oh my gosh, but this really hard thing is happening. And you didn't give in or indulge in the stories that your brain was telling you. You were so strong and connected to the mission of this podcast that you kept going to 100 episodes.
Yeah.
That is true mastery. Anybody can book a studio. True mastery is overcoming those stories over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah, I mean, it brings tears to my eyes. Thank you, because
Yeah.
there's still stories occasionally, right? Like just like a few weeks ago, I was like, do I keep going? Do I keep? I need a sign. And then like I receive it and just like keep going along. Like I believe in it, and I'm just like putting in the where I see it being. It's like I'm on my way, right?
Yes.
Do you ever like look back at like okay your goal or vision and how do you meet her or like your highest self or like so okay so I know because I know like future me over here like she doesn't rush she slows down and like there's little things because like kind of like what you mentioned to earlier we don't just wake up and be like boom we have our $1,000,000 we have our whatever success guitar lessons how do you connect those dots
What's your dream?
Hmm. I really want this to be like a super, super successful podcast, like reaching more people than what it's reaching right now.
Beautiful.
And
Okay.
yeah, with the
Well,
intersection of like spirituality, sexuality, and self-expression.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the reason why Joe Rogan is the #1 podcaster in the world is not because he has like the best lighting or he's the best questions or whatever. It's because he's the only person in the world with 4,000 episodes.
Oh, wow.
Just nobody else has 4,000 episodes. Like nobody else does. That's why he's #1. And so you get to anchor into that. It's if you want this to be the biggest podcast that impacts the most amount of people, it's that you see that the only way to lose the game is to stop posting and stop creating. That's the only way to lose the game. So if you're on a level of I want the level of influence and impact that Joe Rogan has with his audience, with your audience, you do 4,000 episodes. So just have like that's the anchor. And everything in the middle is noise. I just see it as 2 points. We've got where we are now, we've got our dream. Everything in the middle that's not going towards our dream is excuses. And every decision I ask myself, is this bringing me closer or further away? So closer to my future self or further away from my future self. And it's all in the stories. Like how I connect with my future self is I'm like, what story is she telling herself right now? Is it an empowering story? Is it a disempowering story? And I just try my best to clock myself. I'm blessed to have a community of people that will call me out and a great partner that will call me out
Yeah.
of like, you're indulging in this story. Because it really is an indulgence. Oh my God, but I'm so tired.
Yeah.
But what are they going to think of me? And it's sneaky. It's really fucking sneaky, but it's being able to identify those stories and correct them. I think Existential Kink is like a
Oh,
great
that's a good book.
book
Yeah. Like, what
to
part
work
of
on the
me is
framework.
enjoying this or getting
Yes.
a little
Yeah, why am I like
yeah. What part of me likes this and
Yes.
gets off on it?
Exactly.
Um, yeah. I love that question too that you pose. Like, okay, because that's so clear. Is what I'm gonna do getting me closer or further away?
Mhm.
And sometimes though, I'm like, is that rest? Is that like
Mhm.
listening to myself? I kind of have like that.
Mhm.
I'm like, do I need more rest or do I need more action? Kind of like that masculine, feminine kind of dynamic. How do
Mhm.
you navigate or balance those, like
Mhm.
with whether it's, content, life,
Mhm.
relationships, anything?
I love that question. With content, I have what I call the masculine and the feminine side of my content
Mm.
strategy. So the masculine side of my content strategy is I have help. I have an awesome social media manager that helped me out with this, but she edits and schedules at least 3 posts a week that have at least one call to action that go back to a program of mine. So that's the masculine side. I know that these are going out at this time. I know that they are strategic. They are extremely consistent. I know exactly what deliverables I need to provide to her. There's no excuses. They're always going out. Then I have the feminine side of content creation, which is I'm on a walk and I get an
Mm.
idea that strikes me and I post it in the moment. And to have that masculine side, to have, I know at least 3 posts are going out. I know they're pre-batch. It opens up so much more creativity in the feminine side of content creation. To where if you go into content creation just with the feminine energy, oh, when the ideas strike, when I'm in flow, you're just not going to have the consistency that's needed to grow.
Hmm.
So I feel very like I get to be very flowy and feminine in my content creation, which I love. When
Because
it
yeah, because you have the masculine structure.
Yes, because I have the
Okay, cool.
structure. And same in my business. Like I have so much structure that allows me to surrender. For example, every single morning I host a content club
I've been thinking
where
about joining.
yes, you
Yeah.
should join,
Yeah.
where we create content every day from 8 to 9 a.m. And it's so structured that I don't feel like I'm putting any like masculine energy into it. It's like brushing my teeth. Like it's just a habit that I have. I have a money date every single
Oh,
Monday.
I love money
Love a money
dates.
date where I do my money tasks. I have co-working sessions twice a week where I co-work with a friend. So because I have this structure, maybe 20% of my week, the other 80% of my week can be super flowy.
That. Love that. I thought about something and I was like, wow, where did that go? Where did my question go? I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I know. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about like writing and creating
Mhm.
things, like writing a book or something. Like I am a big believer in outlining because for me it gives like the structure for that feminine flow. And it's like, okay, if I know I'm gonna sit down to write this, I know I'm gonna write about this. It doesn't mean that I can't,
Mhm.
have wiggle room to write about something else or like an inspired idea. And I know you're working on a book right now, right?
Yes.
Like
Oh my
I'd love
gosh.
to
Yeah.
I would love to explore that. Like what's your writing process looked like? Like how's the journey been for you? That sort
Mhm.
of thing.
Yeah. Oh my God. I know you know this too, but writing a book it's not for, it's like metal. It's not for the weak. It is like, I've done a lot of really hard things in my life. I ran marathons.
Oh wow.
I was a professional dancer, professional ice skater. Like I've done really difficult, like high level things. Writing a book has been harder than all of that
Mm,
because it's like doing all of those. It's like, I don't know, training for a marathon plus just a fuck ton of emotion. So what I
yeah.
did, I, it's so, yeah, there's so like revisiting stories and like moving through that. It's so much emotional labor, but I loved it. I love writing. I just locked myself in remote Airbnbs for
Mm,
days at a time. That was my writing process.
I love that. And are you done now? Are you in like the editing phase or
I'm
what's
done.
it look like?
Like
Okay.
they kept being like, "Okay, this is the final edit. You're done. Okay, one more
Yeah.
edit." And I think there's been like 16. And like
Final edits.
final edits.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're doing the this edit. Now we're doing the name edit. Now we're doing the fact check edit. I was like, oh my God, so many edits.
Yeah.
So it comes out March 17th.
I was curious. Okay, cool. Spring. I love that. Like it's like to me, it's like renewal energy, like fresh start. Like I love like the energy of spring.
So beautiful.
Cool.
Really, really giving birth to this book.
You are. I tell them it's like this is like a little child.
Yes.
And like a big endeavor of self-love, because I think it goes back to like the trust thing, like you're showing up where you told yourself you're showing up, and back to like percentages. I think only like 2% of the people, 80 or something percent of people that say that they want to do it actually do it. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Do you still feel cringe at all today, or is it kind of like you've done the reps that's like easy breezy coasting, or a little bit easier now?
Feel cringe all the time. You're always gonna feel cringe if you're always pushing your edges.
Yeah.
I mean, some things are very easy. I don't really feel cringe about. I'll post on social media all the time, but some topics I really cringe. I had a big guest on my podcast a couple days ago, and my legs were like shaking the entire time. I was so scared.
I'm like, can we tell?
Yeah.
Can you tell who it was? Yeah.
Her name's Anne. She founded Solid Core, and she exited
cool.
Solid Core for $98 million.
Holy shit.
She has 100% equity in the company. She has a really cool nonprofit for like homeless men. She's so inspiring, and yeah, I fucking love her. Anyways, I was shaking the whole time. You're always gonna feel cringe. Like, it's not a goal to overcome the cringe. It's a goal to get really fucking comfy with the cringe, so you can be in the cringe space and know how to move through it, rather than feeling that feeling, getting really scared and avoiding or pushing it away or whatever.
Or like shut down or
response comes up.
Yeah. That's interesting. I want to say too, I love like your take on like negative comments or trolls or like in life. I think engagement fairies or like thanking them. I thought that was like really interesting.
Yeah, you have to get horny for the trolls. Like you have to really love them. Because it means you're doing something right. It's like, oh my God, yes, this is amazing.
On some button.
Yeah, exactly. Like
your internet clit.
Literally, you just can't get to the level you want to get to without trolls.
Yeah.
Like you have to. It's an initiation. It's like, fuck yeah, I'm so excited. And it just means that you're being a mirror for people. And how beautiful is that? Like that's your whole best, is to be a mirror for someone in the domain of whatever you're creating.
What's coming alive for you because you're looking at yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you mentioned horny. I'd love to, I usually ask this at the top and I forgot. I'd love to like figure out or ask you what's turning you on in life right now, or like making you feel the most alive.
Oh, love this question. What's been really fun for me is being a little bit less people pleasy in my coaching and facilitating, and just calling people out and like practicing sitting in that discomfort of making a bold statement or going to a place where I know the other person is going to be really uncomfortable, and like enjoying it, like enjoying the tension that I created between this person. I did a live workshop last night, and I was just having so much joy of calling people out on their bullshit and sitting in the discomfort. And then there's a breakthrough available for them. This one guy was sitting in the back, and I called him out for like not participating. And I'm like, why are you here? And he's like, my girlfriend dragged me here. I don't have a dream. I don't want to create content. I called bullshit, coached him through it. Turns out he dreams of making an aviation YouTube channel, and he loves planes and all of this. And so even though I was like really railing into him during this workshop, at the end he came up to me, he's like, thank you so much. I really broke through that. I'm so inspired. I'm going to take committed action on my YouTube channel today.
Wow, that's beautiful. And like he gets to claim and own his desire and his dream.
Yes, I think that's such a also important bridge of like Tantra to our lives, to our purpose is claiming your desires. It's really hard for me to work with someone if they don't know their dream, if they don't have a vision, if they don't know where they're going next. And everybody has a dream.
Yeah.
The people that say they don't, they're lying. They're afraid to claim their desire. Like that is it. They don't feel worthy of saying, I want to be an actor. I want to write a book. I want to be a mom. I want this thing. I want a great relationship. I want to start a business. I want to have a lot of money. People don't feel comfortable claiming that. And so that's actually the first step. It's like really learning how to claim your desires and knowing what you desire.
Yeah, I have so many. Sometimes I'm like, okay, how do I focus on which
Yeah.
one?
How do you focus?
Well, I've been, I listened to your podcast with Leola and I was like, okay,
Mhm.
because I told myself I work best in spurts. Well, I noticed that my spurts were not as as often. So I was like, okay, I'm going to commit to at least like 20 minutes to 60
Mhm.
minutes of writing a day. And I've been just like picking what's juicy. So whether it's
Mhm.
like poems or songs or this fiction book that's coming through, I'm like, I don't even know what this is.
Wow.
Or like a pilot that I'm working on with someone. I'm like, this is so fun. And so just kind of like picking what's juicy and alive and just like actually showing up. And I found that me doing that has lessened some of the anxiety from like whether it's not doing the thing or like just that pressure.
Yes, and that's because you created a masculine structure to
Yeah.
surrender into. And a mistake that I see women make, especially women in like spiritual community, the tantra community, is they're like, well, I don't want to do that because it's masculine. Well, I don't want to set a timer to write every day because that's too masculine. And I'm a feminine flowing goddess. But what that creates is anxiety, just like you're
Mm-hmm.
saying. What that creates is more breakdown. What that creates is procrastination, lack of self trust. And I think women often use the excuse of this is too masculine for me. We all get a balance. If we only lived in our feminine 24/7, that does not work, right? We all have different levels of our masculine and feminine. I it is almost impossible to live completely in your feminine. I think
Yeah.
it's probably totally possible for
I
some
mean,
people. But if you desire to make a massive impact on the world, you have to be rooted in practicality as long as we're humans living on earth.
mm, mm.
And that requires some masculine energy. So if your dream or goal is to write a screenplay and you're like, well, it's too masculine. I'm not going to put time on the calendar. It's never going to be done. You're robbing the world of your gifts. You're robbing the world of this story. You're being selfish and you're going to create anxiety and breakdown for yourself. So it's not a matter of how do we stay in our feminine all the time. It's how do we create this masculine structure so we can shift when we need to.
Yeah, I like that. I like having a writing date too scheduled on my calendar, kind of like you mentioned with your co-working stuff, because I'm like, okay, I have that deadline, and like I know myself. I'm like sometimes I'll inch up to
Mhm.
that deadline, but I'm like, oh, I'm a pressure performer.
Yeah.
But I'm like very deadline oriented. There's something else I was going to say. Yeah, talking to about like the desires thing. I do think that there's some correlation between tantra, like naming your if you can name your desires and stuff in the bedroom, you could
Mhm.
probably more easily name it like when it comes to me, like dreams or work or thing, because I
Mhm.
feel like there's so much of that energy too.
Mhm.
Yeah, how did you dip your toe or
Mhm.
nose dive or like what is it, dive into tantra?
How did I dive into tantra? I think it started just with yoga,
Yeah.
and then I think the first thing I did was one of Rena's shibari classes.
Cool.
And then I just started going to workshops and stuff. I did Leola's tantra retreat. Yeah, I think it's just kind of like unfolded over the last few years through. If you're living in Austin, you're gonna
Yeah.
it's gonna happen.
That's true. Yeah, it's definitely like a tantra hub.
Yeah, but shout out Rena for initiating me.
Yeah, I definitely want to have her. I went to a play party not too long ago, and she did a performance there. And then I tried Shibari for the first time, and I was like, oh wow, I got emotional. I was like, wow, there's that control thing again coming up.
Oh yeah, that's definitely
Yeah.
definitely will
I was like,
alchemize some
yeah,
control.
yeah.
Mm.
And it was beautiful and powerful, and more that I can get into later. But yeah, like the Shibari is really,
Mhm.
really cool. Um, and yeah, the masculine and feminine thing, yeah, if I were just to live in only my feminine, I would just be horizontal. I wouldn't be here right now.
Exactly, and same, like,
Yeah.
we're here to experience,
Yeah.
ourselves as humans, same as, like, men. You don't want men in their masculine all the time. Men need to be
Yeah.
in their hearts, and they get to flow too, right? It's not I just see this what I believe to be as a false idea of the goal is to be 100% feminine. I don't believe that
Yeah.
that's the goal. I think the goal is to be 100% human.
I love that.
Like, I think have this theory where I think, like, Buddha or, like, Jesus would probably have, like, a drunk sig, you know? 'Cause that's, like, a human experience, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like a drunk sig and an orgasm.
No, literally,
Maybe
literally.
both at the same
Maybe both at
time.
the same time. Exactly, like, we're here to be humans. That's why we're
I
here.
love that. 100% human.
100% human. Like, we have all of eternity to be, like, perfect.
Yeah, and like that doesn't even exist,
Right,
right?
exactly.
What are some key like my ear is ringing. Is that like a
What does that
confirmation
mean?
of something? Is that like some kind of new download? I'm like, why is my ear ringing? What was I going to say? Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. It'll come
Being
to me.
human.
Yeah, yeah, being human means you'll have brain farts every now and then.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess, like, is there any, like, beliefs or core beliefs that you see or spot in people or implement, um, that you see in, like, in success in building personal
Mhm.
brands?
Yeah, I mean, it's your language. It doesn't even have to be a belief. It's just your language. How are
Oh.
you speaking to yourself?
Mm.
How we talk to ourselves turns into beliefs. So, yesterday when I was facilitating, somebody said, "Well, I'm bad at promoting myself. I'm so
Mm.
bad at promoting myself." And I was like, "Yeah, you are bad at promoting yourself. As long as you tell yourself that story, you're going to believe it and you're going to be bad at
Mm.
promoting yourself. Are you willing? Do you desire to create a new story? Or do you want to stay indulging in the old one? Because the old one is so comfy cozy. And if you choose a new story, I am becoming great at promoting myself. I'm learning how to promote myself every day or whatever skill it might be. But the minute you shift the story you're telling yourself, the minute your beliefs shift. But you cannot shift the belief without first shifting your story. And again, it's so indulgent. Like I had this whole thing where I was like, I'm bad at math. I'm bad at math. I always got bad grades in math. Oh my God, like the bill comes. I'm so bad at math. Somebody else do it. And I realized I was just indulging in this like self depreciation and I get to choose a new story. So I can, whenever I'm choosing a new story, I make it my phone background.
Oh, nice.
So for the last few months, my phone background has been, I'm amazing at math. I'm so smart. I can figure anything out.
I love it. I've told myself that same thing. I'm like, "I'm an English reading gal."
Yeah, me too.
I'm
Me
not I'm like,
too.
that math though." Although I can definitely add up some numbers in my bank account.
Yes, you can.
You know? Like, we are golden there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, here's some just, like, fun, like, questions that me and ChatGPT kinda created with that,
Ooh,
what's a rule that you gleefully break on purpose?
my gosh, this is such a good question. A rule that I break is doing things well. I just don't believe in doing things well. Okay, I believe in iteration. So if I was going to, when I wanted to write a book, instead of sitting down and writing a book, I made shitty tweets around
Hmm,
topics that were going to be in the book. So that was
hmm.
version one. Version two, I started expanding on those and making blog posts. Version 3, I put them into a book outline. Version 4, I made really shitty chapters. Version 5, I improved it. I improved it. Like we wouldn't have the iPhone, I don't know, 17,
Oh,
18,
yeah.
19 without the iPhone 1. And a lot of times people
Hmm.
go into things thinking, I need to be in excellence. This has to be great. This has to be perfect. And I always break that rule. In content creation, like there's two games. There's the game of consistency and then the game of optimization. So I tell people like you got to master consistency first. I don't care if you post
Mm.
videos of your dog shitting every day and it's like a horrible video. You just got to get the reps in and then make it better. So I don't believe in doing things well. I believe in
I
iteration.
love that.
Do it badly and then do it a little better every time.
I think that's great. I think that's golden advice, and it kinda reminds me of, like, the readiness thing, like, when are you gonna feel 100% ready?
No, never.
I don't think
Never.
I'm like, "Hasn't happened to me yet."
No, me neither.
Okay, let's see. It says, "What's the" you kinda answered this one. I like the wording it gave. It's like, "Do you prefer foreplay, prepping content, or raw in the moment
I
reaction?"
love it. Yeah. I mean, I love when I start to hear voices in my head. I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this is gonna be viral. I can't thank you. Thank you, whoever's talking to me." Uh, yeah, I prefer the flowiness, but actually I like both. I mean, my
Yeah.
content club is the structure. Mm, we literally meet every single day on Zoom and create content together, but it brings flow to structure.
Yeah, I love that. I know I'm shifting my relationship with telling myself that 8 AM is too early.
Yeah,
You
no,
know?
it's not too early.
Yeah, it's right on time. I can do it in bed,
Somebody
you
told me
know?
that, yeah, one of my friends told me that 5 AM is goddess hour, and ever since she said that, I was like, "Wait, you're so right." I don't wake up at 5. It made me
I'm
feel
like
better about waking up at 8.
I'm like, and I can do yeah, I'm like, and I can do it, like, horizontal in bed, like, I like to do a lot of
Oh,
things in
I
bed, so
literally wake up, open my computer, and I'm in bed as I'm
oh,
facilitating this.
perfect,
Yes.
okay, yeah.
No need to
I'm
be
gonna give it a
perfect.
go. Yeah, oh, here are my fun, spicy questions go. Okay, oh, yeah, what's the spiciest opinion you hold about the spiritual or coaching world?
Oh my gosh. The spiciest opinion I hold is that people are resistant to feedback
Mm.
and that, yeah, people's egos get in the way of feedback. And I think without feedback, without corrections, without feedback and mirroring each other of our shortcomings, is going to be a spiral hole into the ground.
Show me my blind spot.
Show
It feels like,
yes.
yeah.
Show me my blind
Makes
spot.
me-
Yeah.
Mm.
I think if you have a great partner, your partner will show you your blind spots.
For
Yes.
sure. That's why I've been single so long. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my gosh, I'll matchmake.
Well, no.
Are you looking for a partner? I'll matchmake you.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my gosh.
That's like definitely like I signed up for another year of like pleasure priestess with Leo, and I'm like, okay, I definitely want to do more leadership, more impact, and I want that like sacred partnership, and shifting from more of like the being open to like monogamish or like us creating our own thing.
Yeah, I love that.
So yeah, if you got
Oh
any
my gosh,
candidates, let me know.
I'll
Yeah,
go
like,
through my
let's put
portfolio
that
of
seed in
singles.
your
Yeah, put the
consciousness.
seed in it, yeah.
Let's just plant it. Also taking submissions. No. It says, okay, is there any part of your story that feels the most taboo but also the most powerful?
Such a good question. Yeah. Oh my God, I have a great part. I think in order to get to where you want to go, you have to leave a lot of people behind. People that are treating you badly, people that are not adding value to your life, people that have very like toxic opinions. And a lot of times we hold on to people because, oh, well, they're our friend from high school or this is a family member or whatever. But if you would not come into a new relationship, if you would not allow yourself to be treated like that in a job or from a partner, you cannot allow other people to treat you like that. And I think this is a scary thing to talk about, but I see this as a huge barrier for a lot of my clients accomplishing their dreams. They keep coming up on problems and problems and stories and stories. And I ask them, well, who are you surrounding yourself with? Well, my roommate's kind of toxic and I'm still friends with all the people from my hometown. And I am really worried about what this person that was my college sorority thinks of me. You got to drop them. And what's hardest is dropping the people that are not adding value to your life, but they also didn't do anything wrong. You're like, this person is really not, as you're growing, this person's not growing with me. I'm not getting value from them. We're not having a very like win-win relationship, but they didn't do anything wrong. And they're really nice. And I love them. And sometimes it might be time to move on.
For sure. That's been like one of the harder things. I feel like I feel like that attachment. Like I love you,
but I love you,
and I'm probably gonna have to do it from afar.
Yes,
and it's like I can still love you and think about you. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I can. Are you in my immediate sphere? It's been so challenging because I feel like I'm so emotional. I get emotionally attached, and so that's a good one. Oh my God, yes. And you mentioned hometown, so I just love. I gotta drop in that. I'm like. Two East Texas girls. Tyler, represent. What? Is there anything else that you want to add in or share or like that's the most alive for you right now?
Yeah, I just want your audience to know that you're so deserving of your dream and you were put here on earth for a reason. And that's your path. That's your dharma. Your dream is your dharma. You get to anchor into your dream and follow that journey. And it's going to be uncomfortable and it's going to be raw and shit's going to come up. But if we want to have a massive, massive impact on our world, the best way to do that is for us to follow our dreams and encourage and support everybody around us to follow their dreams too, because our dreams is the path to peace. It's the path to love. It's the path to impact.
Love that. Oh,
mic drop.
Yeah, drop it. And I'll definitely put like all of your info in the show notes. But if you want to like share anything else here, any special offers that you got, like definitely.
Yeah, you can. If you just Google Courtney Johnson, you'll find me everywhere. And join my content club. It's $150 a month or $1,000 for the year, and we meet every single day on Zoom from 8 to 9 a.m. And I give you the exact content prompt. We work on it together. You're coached through any cringe or discomfort that comes up. And we also have an engagement group. We like and comment and support on each other's posts. It's a really fun community.
I like that. Yeah, support. And yeah, that brings up something for me too. Like whenever I'm up, if you're texting me about something, do a little heart or a comment. Like, you're my friend. Like, so why aren't we supporting one another more?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, yeah.
We get to support.
Yes. And I love that. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. This is so great.
Awesome.
Yay.
Yay.